Yo, what's good, fellas? I am back with a heavily requested Zaheer guide. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to let go of your earthly tethers and play the leader of the Red Lotus.
We are part of a secret society dedicated to restoring freedom to the world. We are the Red Lotus.
I'm not gonna waste your time trying to make this short, sweet, and very simple and digestible for you guys. So first things first, you're going to have to choose between one of the three variations of the character. They basically buff your assist. So he has access to all three assists always, but you just choose which one you want to be the strongest. But we're not gonna waste too much time on that, and we're just gonna dive right in. First things first, we're going to talk about all his assists like I said, but we're going to start with Ghazan. The reason you pick Ghazan just makes his combos do a bit more damage. It gives you easier access to higher damage routes, and it has some niche set play. I say niche because I haven't really found any way to truly set it up. Whenever you do combos with this variation specifically, you get a bit more damage, and the air shuriken, it comes out faster. You can maybe contest people at height. I don't really think air shuriken is that useful. I actually think this is probably the most useless assist he has. The only real use case that you have for it is if you want to call it really low to the ground and try to get a combo like that, but it's really hard to pick up off of that kind of height. It's not impossible though. You can do it. You have to call it really low to the ground and then see if you can actually do something there. It does do a lot of damage though, so if you do manage to hit it, like, don't get me wrong, right, like that's 45%, but this is like call Ghazan and poke them in neutral, they get hit, right? That's not always gonna happen, and it's not really realistic to find a hit like that, which is again why I said it's niche. And then when you do the EX version, it makes the lava shuriken travel in a star pattern. So if you're able, you can do like cool setups, like maybe try to mix up your opponents with like cool movement options and stuff like that, but it is quite expensive. You use a lot of flow to try to mix your opponent here. If you don't use flow, then they could probably just get out of it. So you have to use flow to try to jab, check, and flow cancel, right? So next we're gonna talk about Pali. So when you call Pali, typically this actually hits high. So check where to duck. You can actually just duck Pali just outright. So it's good in neutral as a projectile, but just as a base function, it doesn't really do anything. Like it's not too threatening. They could just duck and then challenge you with a button if they think you're gonna run in behind it. But when you use it in the air, you can hit people that are crouching. Obviously, you just gotta place it properly. So that's how you use Pali usually. But if we set Pali as our EX assist, which I'm gonna do here, Pali now is not able to be ducked. So you can just hit people with Pali if you just call her neutral. So now whenever you call Pali, it's like, okay, your opponent actually has to make a decision. Like, do I want to flow, like hold flow and try to dodge it? Do I want to try to block it? Because if you block it, I can mix you. I don't know what side that hit on. You tell me in the comments. I have no clue. And up close, you do stuff like this and mix your opponent as well. It's definitely very possible to just cross your opponent up using Pali like this, or stay same side if you want. And following behind it is really easy. And then if you do get it, like if you actually manage to get it to hit someone, the combo after is decently easy to do as well. So like, right, it just got hit. I'm like, okay. You can just do something very simple. We'll talk about combos. I'm not gonna go too crazy with combos here just yet. And the EX version, it fires 3 blasts, and the blast, depending on the range, will combo. So if you do it full screen, it will actually won't hit. But there's a range where there's like a sweet spot range where you can get all 3 of them in a combo. But usually when you call it, you want to be running behind it. So right here, I'm gonna try to run behind it, right? Try to mix with it. Right? Just run in, kind of. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. But yeah, run in and try to just mix somebody up while Pali is covering your approach. I think it's really good. It stops people from jumping, and if they do jump and they get hit, again, the combo's pretty easy. It has some uses in the corner. Yeah, you can combo in the corner if you manage to get it to hit someone right there, if you do the EX version and do a slight delay on the grab. But it's not necessary, as if you call Ghazan before you throw, you can still get a throw combo. So it's not necessary that you pick this variation. My thought process when it comes to picking variations for this character are picking things that help this character do something that he typically cannot do. He does have left-right mix. He has decent neutral options. He has good movement. One thing that he kind of struggles with, in my opinion, is trying to chase your opponent down or keep your opponent blocking after a roll or a flow escape specifically, unless Ming Hua, typically she only hits twice, but I picked the variation, so now instead of hitting twice, she hits 3 times. And since she hits 3 times, she actually goes the true full screen distance, and she will touch your block or hit you full screen if you let her. And if you do get hit, you can get comboed. Say I'm gonna call assist, I'm gonna just run behind it or run with it. You can get comboed. Ming Hua actually hit first there. It's also good at approaching characters like Toph or Yoshi, since they are the kind of characters that want to just use armor and stuff like that. And their armor usually only has 1 hit, so if you do an attack or 2 attacks in this case at the same time, you'll be able to break their armor and combo them, which is really important. It changes matchups. Also, the air version of Ming Hua, whenever you call it, ground bounces a bit higher now, which is really important because you get slightly better routing, and the better it's not like too necessary, because like the air version, you do usually get a combo off of it anyway, the typical air version. But this version is really good when it comes to trading. So if I jump in the air and I call Ming Hua, but my opponent jumps and they hit me, but they don't hit Ming Hua will protect me and I can knock them back down to the ground. I've done this in my videos. Like if you guys watching my gameplay.
You just died. You just died.
Bro, no, that doesn't happen.
You just died from shit like
shit. Which is more than enough reason for me to want to pick it. Just to go over Ming Hua one more time. You can pretty much threaten something full screen. It's kind of like a fireball, but you can just call Pali at this range. But again, they can duck it. So if you know they're gonna duck it, you swap back and forth between the two. They're like, oh, I thought you were gonna call Pali. You didn't call Pali. You called Ming Hua. I got hit, and now we're in. And they're like, hey, I'm gonna roll out. No, you're not. Checking their roll, and we're keeping our pressure going. That's really the strength of this character, is being able to utilize your assists in neutral to help you pretty much follow up and advance the pressure or go for a mix-up and keep things going. Now, we're just gonna talk a bit about Zaheer himself now.
But when I awoke with airbending, I knew I would be the one to destroy the old world and plant seeds for a new world to flourish.
He actually by himself is relatively bare bones when you talk about his special moves specifically. So we're going to leave out his assists. We're not talking about his assists. 214A, 214B, and 214C, which are all staff attacks, and they're all pretty punishable. So they're not really useful or very useful on block. If you space them out properly, it's not that bad, but you still can get punished. Even at, like if someone does like a flow reversal, they can like dash in and get a punish depending on the version that you do. Also in the air, 214A, glider down, that one's really for combos. This actually hits overhead as well. 214B is another move that we use for combos, but it doesn't have to be for combos. You can kind of use this in neutral. If somebody's just flying in the air, like, and they're playing really airborne, you want to just fly at them, you can do that. But I prefer JB. I think JB is better for that. And then you have 214C, which also just kind of flies directly up in the air, which lets you stall for quite a while. Like if you're just kind of trying to play a lane game, trying to stall out, stay in the air, run away from your opponent, not really interact, this is actually very valid to do. So just looking at his special moves, that's pretty much how this character functions, is through his assists. And it's kind of apparent because obviously you only can function with your assists because they give you combos, they help you in neutral, yada yada. Now we're gonna talk about his flight. You can fly with this character. Big shocker, right? Let go of your earthly tethers. This is what we're here for. The reason this is important, his grounded normals are not like the best. 2A is probably your best bet. Like it's good for checking your opponent at range. It's good for challenging your opponent after block strings. It's good for anti-airing. Yes, I'm talking about 2A. This move will anti-air you. Yeah. He's crouching, so like jumping sometimes whiff, and then this just has like a slightly high hitbox, so it will anti-air people and you can get a full combo. His B normals are like, they're okay. They're just not like too great when it comes to like max range confirms, right? Sometimes it'll whiff, so you have to go for like small damage routes. You don't really get too much. That's probably the limit of what you get off of this, right? Something like that. It's like 20%, which is not bad, but it's not great. There's characters that when they hit you with their medium buttons, you're pretty much dying for it. So the important part of playing this character, I think, is going to be flying around, trying to find a hit. That is going to be the strength of the character, like flying and getting your hit to where you can actually get decent damage. See, now instead of the 20% damage combo I got a little 30%er, which is a lot better, and it leads to a much better situation because we can call EX Ming Hua after. We could also call EX Ghazan after combos if we think that they're not gonna roll. So here, I'll just do this combo right here. I'll do EX Ghazan, and you see, oh, they didn't roll, and then EX Ghazan, it makes you really plus. And if they're respecting Ghazan, because like, you know, they're not gonna roll, they see the Ghazan call, you can actually throw them. I'll just show you guys real quick. So call Ghazan, throw combo, and the damage you get on this character is pretty insane. I dropped that extension right there, but really good. Now, I'm going to tell you guys how to properly utilize his flow movement to pressure your opponent. So Zaheer's forward flow and back flow, and even his down flow, they all are affected by momentum. If I'm running and I do roll, then I'll go a bit further. Or if I'm running and I do forward flow, then he'll jump a bit farther. Running forward and I jump back, he'll like, you know, it's like a little skip back a little bit. This character's movement is affected by momentum. That's important because you can just be anywhere on the screen pretty much at any point. So if I'm full screen here and I want to just, I'm like, hey, this guy's, you know, respecting me a little bit. I got a little bit of time, I got space. I'll call an assist and I'm gonna follow behind it. And the way you could do that is if you run and do like a 2F into 6F, which is down flow into forward flow, then you'll just pretty much soar across the screen and you can press a jump in and get a combo. It's really good. It's a really good way to approach your opponent. And a good way to press your advantage in neutral whenever you get a knockdown as well. So you remember that medium combo I was doing earlier, guys? So like something like this happens, you're like, oh, I think this guy's gonna roll backwards. You can go chase their roll and go touch their block again and force your pressure. Again, it's a read. It's not like it's guaranteed, but it's something that you can do to use in neutral. I think it's really good. And now we're gonna talk about how to cancel his flight in the air to land on the ground fast. This is probably the best thing about this character, I think, or one of the best things about this character. When you're flying, he also keeps his momentum while he's flying. So like fly, unfly. You could do this in any direction. You can do it down, you can do it down forward, you could do it, well, you can't really do it down. You could do it down, back, down, forward. You could do it forward, you could do it back. You could do it up forward and you could do it back forward. And the reason this is important, usually for combos, but in neutral, it's good to just fly in the air for a second, and you can't block in the air, so you are a bit vulnerable. So it's good to be touching the ground every now and then. So you want to play a bit back and forth between ground and air. And the way you actually land quicker if you're flying and you press throw in the air, it'll whiff the air throw and land on the ground much faster. This is me doing it normally, and this is me whiffing the throw to do it. I don't know if you guys can like notice the difference, but it's very clear that I'm landing much faster after whiffing the throw. And this is important for one of his most damaging combo routes. Whenever you hit your combos and you go into EX flight, you can call Ghazan and get a combo extender here. But the only way that this combo is possible is basically if you're able to hit the fly into air throw whiff. A lot of people have been asking in my comments, how do you do this combo? That's quite literally how you do it. You have to whiff throw so you land on the ground faster to call Ghazan. Your flow meter is your most important resource for pretty much all characters in this game, but for Zaheer specifically because he needs it for not only movement, because again, like I said, you're gonna be flying in the air a lot and you're gonna be canceling movement into movement. This character needs his meter more than others, I would argue, because he just consumes it by doing pretty much anything in neutral. So like if I want to just run and try to go for a mix up, or like try to be tricky with my air approach and try to reset my pressure, right? Like you see how much flow meter I use for that? I think it's really important to use it in neutral and in block strings rather than your combos. So if I can do a combo that'll let me keep most of my gauge, my flow gauge, I'll do it. Or if I have some to spare, I'm still willing to spare some, but I'm just not willing to use a lot of it in my routing if possible. I like to save it for neutral. That's really where the character shines. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of flight, or how flight works and how to, you know, land fast and stuff like that. That is really important for neutral, like I said. And you can just fly, unfly medium, or I can fly, unfly heavy, but you have to hold up forward for that one. Right? That's just how you play this character in neutral. You have to be, you know, really tricky with your approach. Again, calling your assists and trying to approach your opponent, and then going for some of your pressure while you're using your flow meter. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the combos. Before, I have mentioned that you can airflow cancel down. This is important in some of his routes. You don't need them in all of them, but usually if you go to your controller settings, whatever your throw macro is, all you have to do is press the throw macro to do it. When I'm flying in the air, I'm holding back and down and I'm pressing my throw button. So I'll keep that up so you guys can see. So that's roughly what the combo looks like. Get about 40%, a pretty standard BNB. If you want to spend meter, you don't have to, of course. You could just do something a little bit easier, which is this right here. and then you just end the combo pretty standard like that, almost 30%. And if you want, you can add a little extra flow by adding a medium. I'm not like the most insane when it comes to his combos. I'm really more focused on his neutral and his Oki setups. I think that is the most important part of the character. I think his combo stuff is good, and he has some expensive meter routes that you can do as well, but I'll show you guys the cross up combo because this is important as well. It's one of his critical hits. So you get this route right here, and you actually have to do that there. You can't just do Ming Hua. So like if I try to do a regular route and go to Ming Hua, as you can see, that does not work. Whenever you use the critical hit of the B+C here, when she first hits the ground, that technically uses your ground bounce. The way you get this set up is usually just if you could force your opponent to block anything, right? So that right there is the combo off the cross up, and the way you can set that up is if you ever do any combo, like let's say you do something like this, right? Get a standard combo, and from this combo you get level 7. I go into my level 7 because Zaheer's level 7 specifically gives him a hard knockdown, and then you can set this up and you get a cross up confirm right there. You don't have to do the flow if you set up Ghazan first, so you don't have to do the air fastfall stuff. But here in this combo, you do B+C in the air, and then you do down forward toward the opponent. Since we just cross up, this will be down and to the left, and you double tap it twice. So you enter flight and then exit flight. And then once you enter and exit flight, you land and you can press 2M. I like 2M. I think it's more consistent of a pickup. But you can press 5M if you wanted to. Sometimes if you do it too high, the 5M can make it drop. So just something to keep in mind. That does work. Either or works. I think you actually get a little bit more damage off of 5M as well. But sometimes I like to do B+C and then get like a slight dash to, you know, get the proper spacing for the combo. Like right there, if you couldn't notice, I did like a slight dash, like a slight run up. And if you do hit that slight dash in the combo, then you can't do the 5M. That doesn't work. It's just the way I like to do the combo. I think because sometimes you'll hit them really far out with this. So like you'll jump really far, and then you'll be too far to really get a good confirm. Like right here, I'm really far. So that dropped. But if you can do a slight dash in, you'll be able to pick the combo up. It is a bit strict on that far range, so just be careful when you're hitting it. But those are the combos I like to do with Zaheer. And then of course the throw combo I'll show you guys in the corner. I think you guys need mid-screen combo, corner to corner combo, mix-up combo, and throw combo. And I think you guys will be pretty set to get on the character and have some fun. His combos usually are all the same though. You'll start to notice like they're a bit high there, so I went for the 6H ender. That's something you'll get used to when you play Zaheer a bit more. Sometimes you'll notice your opponent is too high and this won't hit. So you'll have to just end in 6H, just like his axe kick stomp. It's a decent ender. You don't really get any Oki off of it, but it works. So for this combo, this corner to corner route, you'll hold up forward for the flow medium, and then you'll flow again to unfly and press medium again. So it'll look like this, flow up forward, and then you'll fly up forward and then let go of fly by pressing flow again. And you'll get the double mediums in the air, which brings you closer to them and brings them higher up in the air, which lets you get this pickup right here. And that's pretty much how you do that corner to corner route. It is really good. You should be going for it if you can. If you want, you can try to do like some side swap stuff if you want to do like a side swap route, right? Yeah, if you want like a side swap route, that's fine too. It does a bit more damage. It doesn't put them true corner, even though I guess you could put them true corner if you wanted to. You just got to be careful on the ender. The ender is a little bit confusing. Like that would be like the side swap corner route. It does a lot of damage, but you don't need to do the side swap route. Like I said, like if you just want to hold on to your flow meter and just do the corner to corner stuff, that's also fine too. But it's just something to keep in mind that the character does have stuff like that he can do. That as well, like if you want to do like an easier side swap route and you don't want to do the Ghazan route, because the Ghazan route is a little bit hard to pull off consistently, but I think with enough practice you guys can get it. I'm able to do it decently consistent. I can't do it every time, but like if I need to, game on the line, I probably am hitting the combo because that's just me. I'm just the GOAT, right? You know. But yeah, those are Zaheer combos.
You think your power has limits. I say it's limitless.
I think this character's defense is not great, so you got to be careful with it getting put on the back foot with this character. You can struggle to get away from some characters. Harder matchups, I think, include characters like Azula that can like pretty much rush him down decently easily. I think Katara, since she plays really good from range and really good up close and really good mid range, she just plays good at all ranges, which can be kind of tough to deal with to get started with your assist. He's really a character that needs a little bit of breathing room, like a little space to get started, and then once you get started, he just keeps the ball rolling. I think that is the strength of the character, and I hope this video found you well. I'm gonna throw maybe a little bit of a part 2 up maybe soon, because I think there is more to talk about as far as like dealing with certain situations or how to get out of certain characters' pressure on defense, or reliable ways to set up mix-ups and stuff like that. But I just really wanted to get some kind of guide out for you guys, so you guys can start playing the character, having fun yourselves. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Hope the video found you well, like I said, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy. Peace. I'm gonna see if I hit this baby.